Maybe I'll be done. Is that Wilson? Howdy ho. It is, well, howdy ho. For gematria, how would I be told to spell that? This is I'm gonna be delivering this video where we're talking about where Venus is right now. We're gonna talk about a couple of things because it's a perfect, and excuse my congestion. I'm sure a lot of you are having mucus and drainage because these brain currents and the collective etheric body is connecting in the higher evolved energy template of the body for every body down here. And with Venus and Spica this Sunday, the I Am Day, which is all about the sun, which is at 23 degrees of Virgo, and inching towards this eclipse, which is on galactic command in a couple of days. That's going to be at 25, between 25 and 26 of Virgo. So the sun is pulling up. Golly, do I have a pen? I just kind of sat down to to do this video to keep explaining some of this stuff, and I'm going to try not to go too long. Real quick, before I get into all of this, I want to thank everybody for ordering. We were so excited. We're so, I mean, with me and Michelle, we can't even put into words how excited we are to get everyone involved in this brand, because we know it works. We literally channeled it and used the different tools that we're now 3 and 4 years later, because we've been working on all of this for years now. But we had to develop these different tools to get you guys out your information. But I want everyone to realize that all of these tools, even the cards that'll be coming out next, are all tools that we had to use in our reality as we were shifting in and out of these body template reality settings is the best way to put it. Body template reality settings for the collective, claimed as a collective. Like stacking on top of each other, like standing on each other's shoulders. Since 2019, really, because basically in 2017, whether or not you got shock activated around 2017 or 18, or you were always conscious and you went up, you went into another level in 2017, 2018. You went into another level because the ancients that were all down here got together and activated. So that sent a pulse from the highest, from where the past and the future meet, from the highest high and the lowest low. And so if you were already conscious, but then you had some type of elevation or some type of experience or some type of connection that happened in 2017, 2018, it's because that's when this original sequence from the very bottom, if we were looking at this as the earth wheel, from way down here or way over here, all this energy way down here to the very millions of light years away, all the way past Alpha Draconic even, and all the way up, the energy from the ancients was tuning everything around the Milky Way. It wasn't like in 2017 and 2018, the Milky Way got tuned. No. Space got tuned. The cosmos got a tune up. Then as that energy is collapsing in on the grids from up here and commingling with the different dimensional layers of consciousness that each one of you were attached to on a ladder. This is even like Jacob's ladder. The problem was, and this is where the word cabal is going to come up. The problem was that all these cabal families, because there was a lot of them in the spiritual community. A lot of them were women that were in the spiritual community that had girls that were now in their 20s or even early 30s. And I met many of them on my journey. They'll show up just in the fucking hotel room next door to you. They don't even want to introduce themselves to you. They just want to be in your energy if you're a template holder. Why? Because they had been making their own templates. Their whole entire family had done whatever they did, whether it was sacrifice in other generations or maybe they were doing stuff to shift the consciousness so their daughter could hold the template that ended up being the seal and lock on that Izar placement, which is where Venus is going to go next. This is why I've got to talk about this to really explain SPICA. Venus just went into the orb. SPICA's at 22 degrees, but Venus just went into the orb. And the Izar, Jacob's ladder, Izar ladder, because it goes way further than Jacob. It's not just Jacob, it's Jacob and Jacob and Jacoba and then Akka and then Abba. I mean, it's going to go all the way up to the top of that pin that holds all the different templates and sets a ceiling on it. Well, all these cabal families had specific energetics that their daughter, most of the time, was made to keep her protected, keep her get her around the right people so that she's sourcing their codes. And then when processions like this happen, then they start moving them around you if you have all the keys. And then in the old energies, that's all they had to do. That's all they had to do was get the right person in the hotel room next to you. You not know that they're there. Them consciously knowing that you're there. And every single one of them will tell you, for instance, in this one, it was like, oh, I know I'm going to meet my twin now because I just met you. And if you engage with them, they'll engage with you, but they never will give you any accolades on anything that you tell them. They take all your information and they compare it to what they know. So for instance, this family was like, oh, this is Voyager consciousness. This is Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 consciousness. And they'll look at each other and they'll smile. And they're like, okay, we got the bag. The whole time you're sitting there telling them that the horror story that you're going through and what's happening in your world, and they've got all this money and they're not going to help you. For instance, that's because they were trying to tap these lines. Now, as a collective, and I know that if you follow these galactic stories and you follow any of these ascension journeys, and even in the Bible, it says it just takes one. It just takes one, and then two stand together. When we're talking about it just took one, you're talking to the one who went out and was the one. Now, I didn't do that by myself. You have to be the one connected into so many lines that came before that had gotten stolen, like in the situation that I just told you about the girl at the hotel. You have to be the one that goes into SPICA for the collective and hits this higher evolutionary count. Because whenever we're looking at the stars and we're looking at evolution, SPICA's way up here, Centauri's in the middle, and then your lower frequencies are right here. Okay, this was always supposed to be moving up. What happened was, right at Centauri, everything started going this direction. Orion steps way out that way. Sirius is way that way. And I know that this flip flops my directions sometimes when it's played. So it might be opposite, but heck, depends on what side of the earth is right or left, right? So when we went up into Spica, where Venus is now, what we went up into was creation. No body. A pure soul. And energetically, that is also where designing the body comes into play. All of these other groups that had power over the collective by their Harvard degrees or their aprons or whatever they were doing, but realize that up in the Spica realm, it's a collective body template. Once I got up there is when I realized, oh crap, this is why every single one, our children were coming in these different 10-year counts. So whether they be born in the early 2000s or they be born in the early, like, let's say 2010 to 2020, the children were coming in with these various ailments. The droopy eye was a big thing. The half their face, Bell's palsy, ADHD, stomach issues, and all. And you think from a 3D perspective that it's just your child. It must be something you did. No. What you have to realize is that birthing energy of a pure human all put back together is way out in space. Your body templates and how your organs are working and if they're all connected correctly. And then that energy is sent down to the earth, and then it's waiting for a spark to hit with two people to have sex or any type of, even if you're doing in vitro, whatever, to birth the child. Then those energies are like up it, just like a stork. However, the full template and the full embodiment and being in Spica is raising the bar for everyone on earth, because just one of us had to get up there and get back down. One of us getting up there, because really, once I got up there, I didn't come back down. Once I got up there, it's like I set energetically and had to stay. But when I got up there, my head went into this giant dome. It's like my head was the earth, is so big. And then I couldn't move it because it had been captured. Then I had to like shrink back down and go into this little speaker thing. And that's when we started talking about how are we going to fix the brain? How are we going to fix this? And how are we going to fix that? That was wrong with the human template. In the lower densities, these ailments probably wouldn't have even manifested. If the energy of the collective wasn't rising over the past 20 years, 30 years, because it's what it was, like those ailments, the droopy eye, the ADHD, right? Some of that wouldn't have even manifested in the children or in the people, because the body was such in a low dimensional frequency that it'd be like more like floating around your head and just make you a little, but since the body was rebirthing at the same time, then it's like that frequency hooked in, and then that might make you feel like you have ADHD. Or if one of your neurons on the right side, because you're with an entire collective that was getting pulled to the right in a hotel room stolen template, then now you're going to start having those Now they're going to manifest. Now you're going to see them in the people. The SPICA energies are connected to your Puritans that were killed down here throughout, like, before the Middle Ages, even before medieval times. Then that's also the witch hunts that happened, and the 200 that were burned at the stake. Same people, same energy, same family lines. The reason that in medieval times they were even blamed for being witches, again, I'll say it in a current scenario, is like right now with all these powers and all these gifts that we've connected, and then they were successful in taking the realm back to 1990, which is kind of what we've been feeling like for the past year, right? It's like we're trying to find each other because we know they just took the whole entire human race. Where the hell are we? Why the fuck is everything in medieval? What the crap is going on right now? We weren't supposed to be in this timeline. Then that's how they started finding us, and that's even how secret societies came to be. Because then over time, those secret societies in the beginning were just getting together, trying to combat, just like we're doing right now, trying to combat what the cabal, what these energies outside of this realm were doing to the human race. And then it just got darker and darker and darker as the years and the ages passed, because it was going denser and denser and denser. And even the covens, to an extent, that did all this crazy that to us, to an extent, their energies were utilized to get us up there. Because I went to SPICA when Gabby Petito was sacrificed. Same day in 2021. That low frequency popped us because it was so low and it was so evil and it was so on the entire human race. Those kidnappings and the stuff that went down in 2000 with Elizabeth Smart and a whole slew of girls that were kidnapped. And then for sure, every single one that was kidnapped, anybody that was kidnapped and tortured specifically in the past 5 years has all been to match what they did in 2000 with the girls that they had done then in different DNA counts. This is how they were doing it, because they realized that we were all connected in ways that still most of the spiritual community does not fathom exactly how connected we really are whenever we've joined together hand in hand in a chain to clear the karma through a line that was headed to you in 100 years. Not tomorrow. Not even maybe to you. Maybe it's going to happen to your daughter. Maybe it's going to, you see what I've got chills all over my legs. SPICA is death. I'm on here talking about it because it's so, Venus is entering this orb right now. It's entering this orb at 20 degrees and 55 minutes. At 20 degrees of Libra is when SPICA starts. It's going to be dead on at 22. It's going to be out of the orb at 24. Now, when you order your digital chart, you also get this page. And this is Michelle's. When you order your digital chart, which you guys did, and I'm so excited, and please print them like this. And once we're going to, probably by Christmas, you'll be able to get a blanket or something. But whenever you order, or you can take this image and put it on a blanket if you want on Printify. You can order your own, because you get this printout and print it. And I don't have mine yet. There's a reason. I haven't even done mine on this. And frame it. Put it on your wall. Because this is how your energies are all coming in to the core. Not with circles of Not with the circle right here that's going to take all your energy and then push it to another frequency and repel it off of you. This is where a lot of us have been in this creation square, because that square just lined up with the sun. ISS just caught it. ISS just caught it. There's a square that's lining up over the sun. Well, this is in the middle. This is your pillars of creation. This is where all of these energies are going to come in, and then they're going to do figure eights because they're processing through your body. But what I'm describing to you is that there was a circle, and there's a circle, and there's a circle on each of these template counts. So that energy never got to you. It hit the Alpha Draconic band and sent that energy to them. It hit da-na-na-na-na. So whenever you got to this square in the old energy, then management's coming around trying to get you to sign up for this and sign up for that, and they want to lock your energy down. They want to get you back in a contract. They're going to try to trick you in every way possible to convince you. I know I lived it, and I know a lot of you did. They're going to try to trick you in every sense of the way, all the way down to the point where by the time you get out of that square into this circle, you've mastered it, because they want to lock a circle around you. Like you can't get all the energy, no freaking way. You need to put it through the entire collective and make it surge through everybody that's in this trapped energy line before it can get to you. Well, realize that's how the whole machine was set up. Now, if I put ring over ring over ring over ring over ring over ring to creation, where these star energies are coming from here, 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 and then I pick it up and they're coming from here, 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 and they're all meeting right in the middle. What did I just make? A black hole. Didn't I? A circle and a circle and a circle and a circle through space-time, because this ain't flat. This is an orb, and these just like those domes that you put your hand on, and the magnetic charge comes out well, it's coming from below. And so I'm explaining SPICA to you, because it was so interwoven. Your body codes were so interwoven to this wheel matrix that the only way to get to this little circle in the procession, doing it with the energies, was to die and rebirth. Was to die and rebirth. And it's because those energies were getting closer and closer and closer and closer and closer on you, because you're a creator and you've been changing them. But meanwhile, while you've been changing them, you've been sending out currents like this as it's pushing in on you. Okay? Now, this is what the ancients have already done. This is what even you were a part of. If when we died, a part of you died. But it was a part of you that was hooked into this circle of energetics. Let me tell you, the handler Joseph that was following me and having me run around and do all this, because this is the 5th time that I've redone the body. We had to break 5 of these orbs. 5 of these orbs were broken to get to this final SPICA alignment. For evolution, to pull us into a higher M-Sun setting, which is what's happening right now. Their goal every year was to kill me. Because my body's down here. I was walking these rings up here, and it's getting closer and closer. They wanted me to die. Once it got to right here, especially, like you can picture this orb right here is 2021 in Anaheim. And they're trying to tune the whole, everybody in the human race to their weird-ass industry handler system that had been running down here. But before I got to that one, I was in this one, especially if you have dragon energy. a lot of Libra energy. Before I got in that one, I was in this one. Well, as soon, like this one right here, so we create, and the whole collective, we get in, we get all this orb going, like in 2020. Well, they're gonna, their goal was to get you really, really mad. And this one way out here, to get you really mad. And basically, I mean, I went into dragon mode and deep ass alpha draconic light language and got real mad and blew out of this. Well, whenever I blow out of this line, I'm gonna go to the one closer in now and the one further out now. But I'm no longer connected energetically to that orb at all. But it's still running. Then they'd want us to create for another year, get all those connections. Now you're in this one. They're going to create, they're going to do a spell. They're going to, right? And this is where what I'm trying to describe is all this is happening in the ethers because time doesn't exist in these time counts because we're in procession. And basically what you're doing is stopping your death in the future and printing and rebirthing in your body as in the future as you were the lifetime after you died in the future. It's like you're meeting in the middle. And then, okay, I hope that makes sense. Exactly. I hope, I don't know who's Spencer. But SPICA, that energy is pure flow energy. When you have SPICA, it's like this circle that existed way out here that everybody had set up on was already written on you. When you have SPICA, it's like you've got pure flow energy that's coming through here that you're attached into in the figure 8 the way it's supposed to be, and they're setting up the orbs around you. Because SPICA is a pure frequency of like the heart of the collective. It's all the energy and all the knowledge of all the alchemy, of all the knowledge, of all the wisdom, of every single thing ever written in the human race, and consciousness of it is up in SPICA. And when you clear up to that energy and you rebirth and you get all of these rings off of you, that's when you come prophetic. That's when you start speaking and things start happening. That's why it's called speaking. Speaking. I'm speaking it and it's happening. Well, you know why? Because you don't have any of these rings. Whenever you speak, you're speaking into the cosmos. You're speaking into the universe. Then all that's going to be coming and heading off to you in these different levels. And it's a complete and utter mind fuck. And anybody who tells you different hadn't been through it. And it is mastery. But it's one now, because SPICA would be considered mastery. And what we're coming out of, SPICA's in everybody where we're going. The October 14th eclipse that we had, line this baby up. That October 14th eclipse where they shot 3 rockets into the hole, remember? Okay? Everybody went speaking. Everybody that was connected into the cosmos, that was ready to expand and open up and connected into those higher, that was connected already in and holding hands, because the only way I was able to blow out of this and then reconnect is hundreds of y'all throughout the world holding hands in between this, connected into the line below, connected into the circle below. But when we're talking about these body templates, realize we ain't just talking about your physical body. We're talking about not only that, but how all of those bodies were lined up in a circle of some sort to create a wave and take over reality. Create an insurgence. This is how such a small population of DNA ended up being connected into every fucking thing down here. Now, this is also how we're taking back the realm. SPICA right now, you're going to be picking up on and what you'd consider your guides, especially ancestors. You're gonna the next few days, pay close attention to what's coming into your subconscious. That's what's coming into your conscious, because especially today I feel like it's going to be more angelic, this energy, because the moon is now heading into Cygnus. So that's the angelic realm. So today is not it's if I had a smoke machine and I could blow smoke like this and blow smoke like bees trying to get smoked out. That's a great example. But the smoke is your blood and DNA parts in outside of these different orbs that make up a bigger cosmic body that is entangled as a group, and then sends forth out of that group a representative to come give you information. Because I don't care what ancestor it is. I don't care if you think that it's a demon. I don't care if you think it's Satan. I don't care if you I don't care. Fucking all of them. And all of the angelic realms are working together, and they're all backing us. This is why you can't touch us. You can't touch us, because all those energies that were considered to be Satan and the demons and all that, in this polarity that was created from these circles and then tells you if it's good or bad or whatever it is, the energy of it, not who's embodying it, not how it manifests. I'm talking about the energy of it and how those collide in those bigger ones. They all got stuck there a whole long time ago. They're counting on you getting them out. Today is a time flip. We're gonna experience a dominant energy change in, I'm not gonna say the matrix yet, because it's basically like the organic matrix. You know how we have the flower of life, and the flower of life is a grid that exists way out here, right? Well, all those figure eights and how that flower of life grid is set up between there and the true organic cosmic grid that now that's the one that created that flower of life grid, especially all the energy between that flower of life grid and the original source. Because there is no grid coming from source. It's coming straight from the stars. That little flower of life grid was a safety net. When right now you're dealing with pure, almost like an apparition. The energies are coming straight from the stars. They're not hitting a template. They're not hitting a template that's going to send it right, send it left, send it right, send it left, and then come to you. No, you're getting the straight star energy that's coming out of you, connected into the live versions of that flower grid that are all walking, moving around in the matrix, connected across the entire universe, not even just Earth. And they're all aligning. Mercury is still coming out of the black hole. Well, it just came out of the black hole, 5 to 9 degrees. So we're right on the other side of that echo chamber. See, now we're coming up. Now you're going to see apparitions. You're going to be like, wait a minute, is that there? Is it not there? Is that an avatar? Well, I don't know. Do you want it there? Because if you do, you can keep it there. If you don't want it there, then just, it was never there. No matter, it's showing up because in another dimension, that energy is coming through you and printing it. You know, this is the time that like you have some random experience, because y'all got to remember, and this is what the most of the collective didn't realize, and neither did we before we started all of this. The cosmos change when the star energies, and when you change the star energy frequency, it's going to change your experience. It's going to show up in your life. It's going to show up as a person coming into your world, or a rando walking down the street, or somebody bypassing. I mean, if in a higher dimension, you're sitting down to have a meeting, okay? Let's say in the higher dimension, I'm meeting with Coles, because I think Coles is a perfect place to get a coachee, embedding it. And I've been manifesting stuff like that. So let's say I'm meeting with Coles and I'm really not going to meet with Coles for like a year or 2 years, but we're in a wide open cylinder and it's repeating every year. So I might, well, it could have happened yesterday. I ended up having a 45-minute conversation with a man in Denton outside of my car about all of this, connecting him in. He found me. It just magnetized. Boom. He's like, I just got here. I've just got here 3 days ago. And as soon as I got here, I was told by Spirit to get some tennis shoes. And on the bottom of my tennis shoes, the one of them I have 111. On the other one, I have 222. And I've been walking around Denton. And then you met me, is what I said. And let me tell you, then I told him, let me tell you what 111 means. Let me tell you what 222 means. So now you understand what you just laid. It's consciousness. In the 0 point, you walked it. So let me tell you what you did now. Now that you know what you did, because I just told you what those numbers mean, now what are you manifesting that was aligning that? Then for me, it's like I just had a meeting. It's somebody I'd never met before. I probably won't ever see him again unless the energies merge us back together in that one place. Just like if I was going to walk in and do a pitch or do something else. That's how people are going to be showing up into your reality in order to align the more expanded reality that was going out to the whole world. Your expanded consciousness and the collective expanded consciousness was going out to the whole world. It was hitting that insurgence and going out to the whole world. The difference is, if you created that insurgence, you're holding a key right here. As these rings stop surging, then you get the connection gets more powerful right here. Well, remember that a lot for the collective, there's a square on this right now. So command that to go round. We had to do that too. This is like Saturn. Saturn, we had to command, it's no longer square. That's what the cabal and the industry was trying to do with their little crap that they do in the back end and with technology. They's trying to keep us in a square. They's trying to make it meta. They wanted those little corners. They wanted to square it. Everything was squared. Well, we lost the square root of 2 in every single thing of physics because the entire matrix was set up with the square on creation. But you've been in the middle. Or you're coming in the middle. A lot of y'all are on this ring right here. And in the eclipse, what you did was jump into here. Then we went into this little square. And now what's happening is our energy is expanding so much that we filled up the corners and it's starting to seep through. And it's like that energy gets in that square. It gets so strong on the flat edges that then it starts peering through and spurting light back out. spurting light back out, spurting light back out. Then those corners fill up, then the whole thing just boom. Well, that's different ones or you are doing that at different times now. Because it's been almost, well, it's been 11 months. 11 months in a day. It's been 11 months in a day from last October 14th. But do you see how long it took for that eclipse to link in right now with Venus? Because that eclipse was formed in order to make sure Venus was operating. Because once you get right here, then you start realizing, oh my God, that's a tube that goes way down. And we're all in this little tube. And we're still holding hands. I hope that's making sense. So I don't want to, I want to keep this, and it's changing the Pleiades right now, which again, the Pleiades would kind of be, it's like 7 sisters, but one was missing, right? Well, Electra was in the middle. Electra was in the keyhole. But those 7 sisters aren't in like a circle like this. It's like there's one here, there's one here, there's one here, there's one here, there's one here. And each one of those 7 sisters was holding one of these rings, because each one of those 7 sisters had templates attached to it, and each one of those 7 sisters, depending on which one they could tap into, had a different frequency, which formed a different reality base down here for all of us. But what's happened now is that 7th sister has been found, and now they connect from in here, underneath here, all the way down here, because there was Electra. Electra was way down here. She was holding boom, 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 boom. And now that current is going up like that through the core and creating its own ladder in the middle. But remember, that was also what was holding the rings. Saturn's rings, they're disappearing. Well, this is why. The data's already been produced down here. It's the only reason Saturn was there. It's all the old records. We don't need them anymore. The human race has gone up to SPICA, whether you know it or not. This is why this is a solar ascension. This is not a planetary ascension. We are clicking in the top of this SPICA pole because it's holding. It's like it's not didn't get swept up in any of those other rays. No, it's holding. It's still shooting forward. We as a collective, now it's become a compass, and now it's like the whole energy of the human race and everybody down here and how it's all connected into the cosmos, and every living thing in the cosmos even is the governor. Now it's become a compass, and it's going and it's expanding, and it's like, okay, M3 can't hold it, M4 can't hold it, M5 can't hold it, M6 can't hold it, M7 can't hold it. It's like that's what's happening. That's why everything's blasting off the sun, because all those suns are gonna, like rings, they're gonna align on my arm. And this is evolution, because it swings. It's like the whole earth gets spun, and it's like the human decides what energy we are existing in by what DNA is connected inside the matrix, not the other way around. And so all of us holding this frequency and holding this charge, that is what is happening. The whole earth is getting redirected to go the correct way in space, because it was going that way and it was going that way. Well, it wasn't even going that way anymore. They barred that down. That's serious. They didn't want you to have any connection. They wanted you to keep going that way, and they wanted the whole human race to keep going this way in space. Well, that's a black hole. We can't go that way. But it's not like the process is the human race, and that's why RH negatives and Starseeds were here. That's why we were hidden. We were here and we were hidden so that when this last 7 years from 2020, from 2017 to 2020, and specifically in 2020, when Pluto and Saturn aligned on Capricorn, on the peacock, right here on Deneb Peacock, when Pluto and Saturn aligned, so your soul mission and your reality aligned, the Cabal knew that there's going to be a whole bunch of angel warriors that were going to pop in right there because but they had no idea there was so many of us, and they had no idea we were as ancient as we were to be able to pull this entire orb up, spin it, get it working again, connect every human DNA count, and now get us on the right track to where the energy's going higher, not going lower. And that all depends on where in space the human collective is pulling the reality. No matter where we go in the cosmos, no matter how far we leave from this density, we're always going to have grass. We're always going to have trees. We're always going to have rocks. Now things are going to change. There's too much rock down here. There's too much concrete down here. There shouldn't be scorpions anymore. We shouldn't even need snakes anymore. But now it's going to take a little bit for that reptile to flip because it's what we were stagnant in for so long. But I'm telling you what's coming. The snake will be replaced by some other type of creature the snake then became the lizard. It's just a lizard's just a snake with little bitty feet. Well, that lizard is going to then go up into something else. I'm seeing, I don't even know what that animal's called. One of those, it's a furry animal, but it's long and skinny. It kind of walks like a lizard. But you see what I'm saying? Those densities don't even exist anymore, like for the black magic and that type of shit, because the whole human realm and the whole collective is in an area of space where that energy no longer applies. The more dark energy that you try to bring in, the more light energy is going to gang up of it to dominate it. The more light energy that you bring in to your life without cleaning out your closet. So it's like, okay, let's say, because I know some of my twins and some of my soulmates were in some of these secret societies. So let's take it there. And if they're in it, then you're in it. If you really do have a twin, because not everybody does, and let me tell you, it ain't necessarily the one you want to marry neither. It's gonna be complete fucking opposite of you. But your original plan as one being was for them to infiltrate that group. They did. When they did in the physical life, whenever we finally got to that point in the journey, it's like a quincunx on us. It'd been figured out so long ago. You're like, what the hell? Because you're inside there doing spells, but it's affecting me, you fuck. Well, that's why. So right now, what I'm doing is explaining how the feminine cleared the masculine. Because we did. I've been in masculine energy the past 2 years. The entire ascended female collective that had the body templates and the codes has been completing the masculine templates in this higher realm by twin connections, not by being in front of them, not by working together, not at the most ancient, not at the most extreme. Not that men weren't changing through this, but the men right now, you guys are getting a heart activation like a mofo. Your heart is beating now. It's just started beating. It's not connected to your brain yet. It's not processing all the fluids. Your heart is beating. It's not releasing blood to your brain yet, though. It's just now the bloods of the right and the left are now blending to where there's a different frequency, there's a different heart setting. We've been aligning this for months since Venus went through Cancer. Feminines have already done, the feminine side of you's already done it. The masculine side of you, which a lot of the time is your body. It'd be like the etheric version of you, and your body is a good example of Venus and Mars. This is also the earth. This is also the sun. The sun now has another heartbeat. That massive X flare that we had yesterday. If you look at the end of the LASCO, the whole thing blinks. Well, that's all it takes is a blink. That's all it takes is one specific sequence that's attached to all this cosmic energy up here that's compressing, 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 compressing. And then the whole thing blinks, boom, and tunes. That's all it takes. This is how they were able to take us to these other timelines and us not even freaking know it, because it happens in a blink. It happens when it specifically charges a specific group of beings that are connected to the stars, not the planets. Planets are going to keep you rolling in a circle. Planets all work together in one system. Planets, each one of them is a processor for that energy that's coming in for you. It's not that it rules your life. And this is the ancient pieces within the etheric and the mythology and all this mess that we've been going through as an etheric collective coming in, because that's what we had. That's what, to get to SPICA and to bring in that energy of complete freaking balance. Then what you have to realize is that you're a little bit of Venus, you're a little bit of Mars, and I talked about this on the last video with being creative and then having to do the paperwork. Being creative, then having to do the paperwork, right? You're balancing all those energies. If you're in union, then it don't matter. It's not like your union mate's going to show up and you're like, oh, great, there's Mars. Here's all your shit. Can you please go do my books? Can you please get my taxes done? Can you give me some freaking money, man? Because we know that this brand is $1 billion brand in the next 10 years. You know, you can't do that either. Because when they come in, you're blended. You're doing all those pieces within yourself, especially right now as union mates start coming in and the feminine is the lead. Because the feminine, man, with these men, you have to be strong, but not in a yelling voice. And a lot of us that are feminines that have been in this Eve angelic programming, you know, the last thing we want to do is create a current. The last thing that we want to do is make somebody unhappy. The last thing we want to do is, and we think, but these new men, you can't get rid of them. The more that you tell it to them straight and use your knowledge and explain it to them, and don't get angry. You might need to get forceful when you tell them, oh, come on, do this, do this, do this. No, I'm not. And here's why. It's going to mess both of us up. So you can sit there and you can ask me to do it forever, but I can see 5 years down the road and I'm connected into this energy. And I know that if I do what you're asking me to do, it might give me a little bit of reprieve for about 6 months, but then all hell's going to break out because I didn't finish what I was supposed to do. So you can sit there for 6 months and wait for me, or you can listen to what I'm telling you and let's work out a new plan. But you're not going to follow the plan that you're coming and yelling at me. That over time is what creates a twin. That over time, and being a processional being, and having every time you delivered every time you went and stood up to the elders in Lemuria and said, we're going to say it one more time. This mummification thing, we don't see it good in the end. Y'all seem to just want to do it, and you seem to think that this is the right answer, but we're telling you right now that this mummification thing is going to have some type of repercussion in the end. Every time you did that in those other dimensions, you created an entanglement, because they never listened. They never listened. The masculine form of you, your masculine girlfriends, which a lot of us have been walking the masculine. That's what I'm telling you. This is why women became like worse than men down here. Different extremes of different issues, but Jesus Lord. No wonder these men don't want these women. My God. Do you want to deal with them? No. They're not around you. Then in the masculine's head, you become something unachievable. The masculines that are picking all this up, and knowing that you've got these connections to these different energies, and you're either getting these, no, stop, don't do it right now, and you know that the program's telling you to do it, but you're listening to it, either if someone's telling it to you or if you're picking it up in the ethers. The more you ignore it, the further you get cut from it. So over time, the ignoring it, then basically in most masculines' minds that are hybridized, we became, in the end, not real to them. They didn't think we were real. When this game started in 2020, because we had this SPICA energy, and because so much of us have this Libra party right here, and if you have a Libra party, then you had a lot of trauma, a lot, because you were taking it, you were basically processing the stuff that hadn't even happened yet. Because it was having to work through these lines, and it hit all of us, and it was traumatizing. But what I want everyone to know and realize, that imagine anything that happened to you that was traumatizing in the ethers, it did affect your physical life. Now blast that program out to the whole freaking world of humans all at the same time. That's why you went through it, holding someone else's hands in the ethers. We went through it. We took it. It didn't go out to the entire line. In fact, because we took it and we processed it and we walked it, now that's no longer even a current that can stick to the human race and the rest of the DNA strands that hadn't made it as far as we did yet. Because the whole orb's going to hit, the whole Earth cosmos orb's going to hit that frequency at some point. That's what we stopped and overrided. If you haven't, for the masculines in their mind, when this all started in 2020, some of them thought we were a video game. Some of them thought we were avatars. It seemed to be that way because the beings that had contact with us and that had controls of these orbs could just write anything they wanted to us, and they could make it happen in our life. And they thought it was funny. Oh, well, let's see if we can do this. It's like getting a new toy. They were treating us like toys. That's from like the Saudi Arabia red root race, the elders, even all etheric beings. They're just angels. You're not in a human body. We're not hurting you. You're not in a body. You're not even here. It's all just a game. From the other perspective of the gypsies and those that have been on this 600-year march with us, that we were having to yell and make those ceilings to, and talk and get those message out, and then they went their direction and you went yours, but they're still created to them in their mind. they have created you in their mind to be so magnificent, so perfect, that when they meet you in the physical, they don't, it's literally like the program is, they don't want to meet you in the physical because they're going to miss the image of you that they built in their mind. But that image that they built in your mind is that you're this high priestess, etheric, like an ocean within their family line, that's been like their guardian angel, that's been leading them to their celebrity status. They have a hard time putting those two together to realize, oh my gosh, all that's coming out of your 5'2" ass, yep, connected into everybody else and all your family lines that are royally pissed off at you right now. Now, I said that and gave you analogies of a man and a woman, but I want everybody to listen, rewind back about 5 minutes and listen to this part again, because that's what you're doing inside your head. That's what you're doing inside your head. This is what I'm talking about embodying it. This is what I'm talking, because that masculine celebrity ain't wrong. Where this energy that he sees us in, we will become now in its fullest. In fact, we're going to override what his image in his head, that gypsy, what he thought where we should be. It's actually going to jump that, but he was supposed to be there hand in hand helping. You were supposed to be healing him through that connection. Now you're just going to jump over him. Now he's going to look now, and you need to take the time, and that's why these gypsy twins, they will teach you, and we taught the shit out of them. They taught the shit out of us, did they not? I mean, this is why I know all this stuff about the Matrix, is why and how I can come on here and explain it, is how we were able, 11:38, it's how we were able to capture it in the data on the descent down. Because that twin woke you up to what he sees up here. And you're going to get there because he's been projecting it. And this same thing for the feminine. Same thing from the feminine. It's like our gypsies, the ones that we know, okay, they've got the clout, they've got the power, they had the clout, they had the power, they had all those things. Their whole lesson was that nobody's perfect. They're not perfect. Do they want to be a part of growing you up? Or do they want to wait till you're all grown up and then get in line? Because the masculine's only seeing it from, I've got this particular status and I need to keep my status. Not realizing that now over the next 4 years, you're going to lose your status because it's all going to come to me because we're sharing the same status. I just gave it to you for a minute, but you didn't give me a lifeline. So now I've got to take your bag. Now I've got to do it all with my teams and by myself without you around. And I guarantee you, whenever you show up after I do all that and you have to lose your ass, that I'm not going to be, I'm no longer as loving as I was before. Could it be rekindled? Maybe. But now I'm at a totally different energetic from you. Now you're the one that I'm looking at going, what the fuck happened to you? What happened to you? Why do you look like that? Why are you all bloated? Why are you being such a jackass? You follow? So this is a digi chart. You get this, and in order for us to make this for you guys, I'm the one who goes through right now and picks and tells Michelle where all the star points are, and then when we do that, as she's building these for you, I send you an email and go through and tell you each house and a picture of your astrology chart from here. It's like a 2-part process. You'll get your chart like this with a write-up that gives you a little bit of idea of where your planets are, and I tell you the number and what energy's in. So it's coming into your 3D. It hits your masculine first. You get that. And then you're going to get this that tells you exactly what your energies are. We've added the 3 words to this. So this has actually changed some because you have a little description of this energy here. And then you get the 777 that shows you which rays you have. First thing you want to look at is what your gifts are and kind of process that with your life. Once you feel like you've done that, then you need to start paying attention to which ones are empty, because those are supposed to be mastered. You already have this knowledge. If you didn't have this knowledge, then you wouldn't be able to hold this ray and this ray together, because they're talking to each other. They're just talking to each other from these rays and projecting to this side. The lower half of the wheel, the higher houses. So this is the right brain piece, and then this really tunes you in. And then I'll be back on for the coloring book this week. And we ran into a little snag with the website just because we've got the new stuff on it, but we've got to do something with the cash out or something like that. So I'll be back on when that goes up live, and Virgo's going to go up first. And then we'll be able to get Virgo, Libra, and Sagittarius Kochi home goods tuned, shower portal curtains. The blankets are tuned to do certain things. It's all in the write-up of what the energy does. So even if you don't want to go buy anything, it's a learning. It's a place to come learn about the energy of that house and what those colors and rays do as you read through the 9 to 10 products that we're putting out for each house. Because I'm tuning the blankets, I'm tuning the curtains to black. Virgo curtains is a blackout curtain. It's going to literally create a cosmic bubble inside your house, and then it's going to keep any distorted energies out. It's a blackout curtain. Libra curtain's going to be a little bit different. Doesn't have the same energy. It's not going to be doing the same thing. I love y'all. I'll be back soon. I'm reading my moon and Mercury are there. Oh, wow, Matthew. So your moon, and if you have a pen, write this down. The moon is a reflector. It's an emotional reflector. Just like you're driving through like a parking garage in a building, and it's a parking garage, and it's got those big reflectors on the corners. That's the moon. If you're any emotional response that your body has to any situation, it happened before. It's in the past, because your body's not going to have an emotional response for something that hasn't happened yet. At Cygnus, the angelic realm. So that's the moon, the reflections. This is Cygnus, which is the only difference between Cygnus, see how it's peach, and it's bright purple. It's the archangel purple. SPICA is lilac. The beginning degrees of Virgo purple. And you only see it in the new Regulus in Virgo that holds all the archangels, and in SPICA. But I want to show you, this is how SPICA and Cygnus, it's like this. Your SPICA ancestors that are your angelic realm are getting bound together as a group to even make the archangels in Cygnus. Hindsight and oversight, angelic realm, connections to those who walked earth before. Hold root connections, interact with conscious, subconscious life and death cycles, knowledge of journeys, insight, hindsight, for oversight. Compassion is superpower and life force needing to be received. Since the death crossing process or maybe involved in some way, channels higher force through body in times of need in the physical. See how the angelic, this Cygnus energy is right next to Fomalhaut? Well, this energy right here, Fomalhaut, is Gabriel. What does Gabriel do? What does Gabriel do in the ethers? He crosses people over into death. As right next to each other. All we've done is embody that energy as a collective. To the extent that in the 3D physical, I've crossed over two beings that were in the adopted family line. Only two, but it was Mary and Dan in the remnant Mormon church. When they died in my physical, happening here in the 3D, I crossed them over. Well, and that's because that energy is embodied now in the collective. Not only that, the other girl that's the speaking girl that traveled with me that finished the Anaheim stuff, that us two stopped our own death in the future. In the future, we died. But we stopped it in the ethers to where we're embodying our total higher self in the physical, because we stopped the death in the ethers and undid it. And by the end of this, we'll catch who did it. We solved our own crime. Now we're becoming who we were always supposed to be. The death was necessary in order to delete all of these lines. Now we're getting it straight in. That's not everybody's going to go through that full cycle. The ones who don't go through that cycle, you're getting a new body and you didn't die. It might take a little longer for it to all integrate because some has to leave and some has to come in. But in your physical world, you're going to have a much easier time with ascension because of the ones of us who did it. The ones of us who did it, are you going to see us elevate quicker? Probably. In your mind, are you going to think, oh my God, they're so lucky and it just happened? Yes, you will. Most people that don't know who you are. The ones who do know that you deserve every fucking bit of it because you've already walked your deaths and your karma for 600 to 900 years in advance, in 50 years, in order to clear it up for your children, which then are connected into the entire freaking nursery of babies that are going to be coming in for the next 90 years. Did it just happen overnight? No. Was it just luck? No. Did you just happen to walk into that store and meet your investor? Nope. It's going to feel like that when it happens to you. But whenever you show up, you're going to know you created that and that they met you in the ethers and that you've already been talking to them and now you're finally meeting in the physical. Masculine and feminine etherics merging. The masculine's not just going to print anymore. It's actually the feminine that's going to print. To all the masses that don't have their feminine, they're going to be getting thrown all over the place. Just like we were in 2017 when it started coming into us. Your life gets on a river and it's going to feel like it ain't going to stop. But every single program's already completed and you don't got to get stuck there very long. Those of us who walked it before got stuck for a couple of years in each realm. Why? We had to wait for everybody else to get in it with us in order to build up a dominant energy to keep going. It's what masters are. It's what ascended masters are. And now we're descended masters. Love you guys.